Welcome to a place where reality is not found but forged, to a channel built for seekers, dreamers, and those brave enough to believe that life can change the moment they do. Welcome to your inner sanctuary, where your imagination is not a distraction, but your divine blueprint. You did not find this video by chance. You were guided here by a part of you that already knows that there's something more, knows that within you sleeps a power waiting, not to be taught, but remembered. Here, we do not teach wishful thinking, we teach the law of feeling, the sacred transformative force behind every miracle you've ever heard of, behind every healing, every dream come true, every soul that rose from darkness into light. This is not philosophy, this is practice. And tonight you will begin. Tonight I will teach you how to feel, not just feel emotion, but to feel reality before it arrives, to embody the unseen, to command the visible world not by effort, but by certainty. This is the secret Neville Goddard lived, breathed, and taught to thousands. And it is yours now, if you're willing to listen, not just with ears, but with the soul. So I ask you to open more than your eyes, open your spirit, quiet the noise around you, close the tabs in your mind. Let this be your space, your moment. A sacred return to the truth you've always carried. If what you're about to hear ignites something within you, if it stirs your soul, makes you feel seen, remembered, or awakened, then I invite you to subscribe to this journey. Join a growing circle of creators, of manifestors, of spiritual revolutionaries. And when this message is done, share it. Not for us, but for someone you love. Someone who forgot how powerful they really are. Because tonight, we don't just talk about miracles, we become them. Let's begin. Close your eyes. Breathe. Not as someone who is waiting, but as someone who has already become. You see, the world has taught you to chase, to strive, to earn, but creation does not obey effort. It obeys the one who dares to feel the end before the beginning. It yields to the one who assumes before there is evidence. It responds not to need but to conviction. And so I tell you now, you are not here to watch your life happen. You are here to author it, to feel into being what no eye has yet seen. Everything you see around you, every form, every figure, every dollar, every disease, every moment of joy or pain, is nothing more than hardened feeling. The solidified smoke of yesterday's assumption, the residue of your inner world. And so tonight, I won't ask you to work harder. I won't ask you to try longer. I will only ask you to remember who you are. You are the image and likeness of a God who creates by imagining. A divine being whose power is not in the muscles, but in the mind. What you feel, you become. What you persist in feeling, you manifest. This is not magic. This is not luck. This is law. The law of assumption. But assumption is not a thought. It is a felt reality. A state you step into, breathe in, walk with, sleep inside. And the world will follow. Your senses will tell you it isn't real. They'll scream, "Where is it? Show me proof." But the senses are the servants, not the masters. Your feeling is the command. You see, the moment you feel something as real, truly real, you shift timelines. You align with a version of yourself that already lives that life. And that version begins to leak through the cracks of this one. People shift. Opportunities rise. Paths unfold. But not because you forced them, because you finally remembered how to feel. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat still and simply felt something as though it had already happened? When was the last time you closed your eyes and heard someone say, "Congratulations, you did it"? Felt the handshake of the new job, heard the laughter of the love who came back, smelled the new home, tasted the victory. Most people wish, some visualize, few feel. And the ones who do change the world. So tonight,
Stop arguing with your senses. Stop consulting the evidence. Stop living according to what was. You are not defined by what has happened. You are defined by what you dare to feel next. And I do mean dare, because it takes courage to feel wealthy when the bills are unpaid. It takes power to feel loved when you've been left. It takes vision to feel healed when the body aches. But that is exactly how miracles happen. Not by waiting, but by feeling anyway. You must learn to saturate your inner world with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. As Neville taught, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. That is all. That is enough. That is everything. You may say, but I don't know how. Let me show you. Start with one simple scene, a moment that would occur after your desire has already come to pass. Not the moment you receive it, but the moment you live in it, the normalcy of it, the quiet certainty of it. Feel yourself there, not watching, being. Touch what you would touch. Say what you would say. Smile the way you would smile if you had already arrived. And do not merely think it, feel it. Claim it in your chest. Let your body believe it, and then let go. Not in detachment, but in trust. The trust that your assumption is the seed and reality is already reshaping itself around your inner truth. That is what it means to live by faith. Not a blind faith in chance, but a bold faith in law. You are not hoping for a better life. You are not pretending to have one. You are feeling it into form. And when you do that, life bows. It must. The moment you stop chasing and start embodying, the moment you stop doubting and start assuming, you become magnetic. You become the state itself, and all things move to reflect you. So tonight I give you this invitation. Pick one desire, not 10, not 5, just one. The one that calls you loudest, the one that makes your heart ache when you remember it's not yet yours. Now, feel it done. Don't wish for it, don't ask for it, feel it. Let the scene unfold in your imagination like a memory from the future. Let it anchor you. Let it become your new dwelling place. Because the truth is, you do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. And you are what you feel. Now carry that feeling like a flame. Guard it. Protect it. Return to it every time the world tempts you to forget who you are. Because the world will test you. It will present mirrors of your old self.
Versions of reality shaped by feelings you've outgrown. And if you react to those mirrors, you fall back into the past. But if you respond from your new state, if you answer lack with the energy of abundance, if you meet fear with the vibration of peace, if you greet rejection with the knowing of your worth, then you are no longer reacting, you are creating.
This is mastery, not control over the world, but control over your inner atmosphere. To persist in the face of contradiction, to remain in feeling when facts scream otherwise. This is power because, listen closely, reality is slow, not because it's broken, but because it's deliberate. It obeys the law. It molds itself in time around sustained assumption. That means the moment you feel it real, the clock starts ticking. The bridge of incidents begins forming. The people are moving. The calls are being made. The chain reaction has already begun. But if you look around too soon and say, it didn't happen, you dig up the seed, you cancel the prayer, you step out of the state, and the bridge collapses. So stay in the state. Let it become you. Sleep with it. Walk with it. Speak from it. Live as though it were already so. Not as an act, but as identity,
You are no longer the person who wants. You are the one who has. And that shift is where the miracle lives.
Think about this. If you truly knew something was coming, if you were certain, how would you feel?
Peaceful, grounded, joyful. That feeling is the state, and that state is the cause. Everything else is just a shadow. You may say, but my mind keeps going back to doubt. Of course it does. The mind is a creature of habit. It clings to the familiar, even if the familiar is pain. But you are not your mind. You are the awareness that observes the mind and the operator of what it feels. So train it, not by force, but by gentle repetition. Each time the thought of not enough arises, replace it, not with words, but with feeling. Sink back into the end, reignite the scene, hear the voice that says, yes, it's done, and feel it again and again and again until one day you don't have to remind yourself anymore. You're simply there. You've become it. Let me remind you of something sacred. You do not manifest what you affirm. You manifest what you accept. And acceptance lives in feeling. No one feels unworthy and receives worth. No one feels forgotten and receives love. No one feels small and receives power. You cannot outsmart the law. You can only align with it. So let your inner world become the blueprint. Let your assumptions become your home. Not something you visit, but something you live in. If it is wealth you desire, feel the comfort of money well spent. Feel the freedom of choice. Hear the words, it's already paid. Breathe like someone who is not afraid. If it is love you desire, feel the hand in yours. Feel the kiss on your forehead. Feel the presence of someone who sees you, cherishes you, celebrates you, not tomorrow, now. If it is healing you desire, feel the ease. Feel the strength returning. Feel your body light, unburdened, alive. And let this become your daily rhythm, morning, night, and every quiet moment between. Return to the feeling. Inhabit it, dwell there, because the moment you start living from the state, instead of reaching for it, the outer world surrenders. And here's the miracle. You won't need to chase the desire anymore. You'll find it's already chasing you, because you are no longer someone who wants. You are someone who embodies, and the universe, always faithful, delivers itself to who you are. Now listen carefully. There is no power greater than this. No teacher, no technique, no strategy more potent than the disciplined use of your own imagination. You were never meant to be at the mercy of the world. You were never meant to live by circumstances. You were meant to feel them into being. And that is why you are here. Not to be taught something new, but to remember something ancient. This is the law the mystics whispered, the secret sages guarded, the truth the world forgot. But you are remembering now. You are not a victim. You are not waiting. You are the operant power, the cause, and the cause is always feeling. So now, I ask you again, what are you feeling right now? Because that is the future you are authoring. Not next week, not when conditions improve, not when the door opens or the person returns or the money arrives, but now, this moment is the seed of every next one. And the universe, like fertile soil, does not argue with your seed. It multiplies it. So, if you plant fear, it multiplies fear. If you plant peace, it multiplies peace. If you plant the feeling of already having it, it grows a world where you do. This is why awareness is everything. Not hypervigilance, but sacred observation. Begin to notice what you assume when you're not looking.
When you're washing dishes, driving, waiting in line, lying in bed before sleep, what state are you dwelling in? What are you expecting unconsciously? Because most people are not manifesting failure, they're simply feeling neutral, empty, incomplete, and the law mirrors it. But you are now conscious. You are choosing to feel deliberately, to live by law, not luck, and that means you are free. Free from the bondage of appearances, free from the prison of evidence, free from the story you were handed, because now you are the author. Neville once said, "Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live." That is not poetic metaphor, that is literal truth. You don't change the world by fixing the outer. You change the inner concept of who you are, and the world reflects the upgrade. So ask yourself, who are you becoming? Not in your goals, not in your journals, but in your feeling. When no one is watching, when you're alone with yourself, do you feel seen or invisible? Do you feel powerful or small? Do you feel chosen or left behind? These are the silent vibrations shaping everything. And they are not fixed, they are not permanent, they are not destiny, they are choices, moment by moment. And you have just remembered you get to choose. So choose wisely, and do not wait for proof. Proof is a byproduct. Feeling is the cause. You may say, "But I can't feel something that isn't real." But I tell you, nothing you now call real existed until someone felt it first. That house, that city, that relationship, that job, all of it was once invisible until someone dared to feel it into form. You're not different. You're not less powerful. You are simply one decision away from stepping into your own authority. So here's your permission. You don't need to deserve it. You don't need to earn it. You need only to assume it. And assumption lives in the body. So practice. Practice the feeling of wealth, not someday, but now. The quiet confidence, the peace, the ability to breathe deeply because the pressure is gone. Practice the feeling of love, not the fireworks, but the warmth, the safety, the way it feels to fall asleep knowing you are held. Practice the feeling of health, not the absence of pain, but the presence of vitality, the strength in your legs, the rhythm of your breath, the clarity in your mind. This is your daily work, not to fix the world, but to feel the world you desire, and not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not, because resistance is not your enemy, it is your initiation. Every time you feel the new state in the face of the old, you become stronger. Every time you choose to remain in the assumption, even when the bank account doesn't change, even when the call doesn't come, even when the mirror still shows the old reflection, you are rewriting the script, not with force, but with faith. And faith is not a wish. Faith is feeling what the senses cannot yet see. You must feel ahead of the evidence. You must embody ahead of the arrival. You must become the thing before the world has caught up. And when you do, the world must follow. It is law. This is how mountains move. This is how destinies shift. This is how the ordinary becomes miraculous. Not through effort, but through assumption. So stop asking, when will it happen? Start declaring it has already begun, because the truth is, it has. The very moment you claimed it in feeling, you changed the trajectory of your life. The bridge of incidents is building itself. You may not see it, you may not hear it, but it is forming in the unseen. Your job is not to build the bridge. Your job is to remain in the state, and when the time comes, you will cross it with ease, because you will already be the one you were becoming. There will be no surprise, no shock, only the quiet recognition. This is who I've been all along. You don't become worthy of the thing. You feel your way into the version of you who already is. That is alignment. That is the key. Now breathe again, but breathe not as the seeker, breathe as the creator. You are no longer reaching forward in desperation. You are reaching inward in recognition. You know now, you've always had the power. The world did not need to change, you did. And now that you have, now that you've moved inwardly into the state of your desire, life will echo you. It will mirror you in whispers first, in small synchronicities, in strange coincidences, in chance meetings, sudden nudges, inner tugs, but eventually that echo will grow into a voice, a moment, a manifestation so undeniable that it leaves you still, in awe, in quiet knowing, because it won't feel like a miracle anymore. It will feel like home. And that is how you know you've done it. Not when you feel shocked by what arrives, but when you feel aligned with it, when it feels obvious. Of course he called, of course the job came, of course the healing occurred, of course the money arrived, because I became it before it appeared. That is your new normal. The world doesn't happen to you anymore, it rises to meet who you are. And you are becoming someone new. Let go of the old story now, not with hatred, but with reverence. It brought you here, it did its job, but you are no longer a character trapped in someone else's script. You are the writer, the director, the divine imaginer. Every time you choose to feel the end, you rewrite the next scene. And I will tell you something else. You never had to be perfect to be powerful. You never had to be fearless to be worthy. You never had to master everything before the world responded. You only had to feel genuinely, consistently, with sincerity, because sincerity is the only requirement. Sincerity creates the spark. Repetition fans the flame. Faith carries the fire all the way to form. And this fire is now lit in you. Carry it. Let it burn away doubt. Let it illuminate new paths. Let it warm others, those who are still asleep to their power, those who still beg life for scraps, those who think the outer world holds their worth. Let them see you, not what you have, but who you've become. Let them feel the change in your energy and wonder, what happened to them? Then tell them what I told you. Feeling is the secret. Not strategy, not sacrifice, not time. Feeling. The felt assumption that what you desire is already yours, and that you are already worthy of it, because you are the one who imagined it. As Neville once said, imagination is God, and there is no other. So every time you enter that sacred inner world, you are walking with the Creator, not a being in the sky, but the being inside. Your imagination, your awareness, your feeling. This is not just philosophy, this is initiation, this is soul realignment. And now that you know, you cannot unknow. You cannot go back to begging reality. You cannot go back to waiting for the outer world to grant you permission. You will create it, and you will do it without noise, without force, without resistance. You'll do it with calm confidence, with quiet authority, with the sacred inner declaration, it is done. And when the world throws you doubt, you'll return to the scene, the feeling, the state, and you'll remain. Because you are no longer the one who watches life unfold, you are the one who writes it. So what is the next chapter? What new reality do you now dare to assume? Because the moment you feel it, you've planted it. And if you persist in that inner soil, your outer life must bloom. No one can take this from you. No economy, no rejection, no illness, no circumstance. Because this is not a trick. This is not a hack. This is the eternal law of consciousness. And you are now conscious. You have remembered. You've stepped into the frequency of creation. You've stepped into your own power. And from this moment forward, you will never again settle for evidence over feeling. You'll live from the state. You'll dwell in the end. You'll walk in the knowing. And life will bend to meet you there. Because you are not just imagining a better world, you are becoming it. You are not just visualizing the desire, you are feeling it alive. And as sure as night follows day, the world will reflect your truth. It already is. If this message lit something within you, if it helped you remember your power, if you felt seen, shifted, or awakened, then don't let it stop here. Subscribe to this channel, join the circle of imaginal creators rising across the world. Share this message with someone you love, and leave a comment below sharing what you are choosing to feel now. Because we are not here to wait,
We are here to awaken. We are not here to follow. We are here to feel. And as long as you remember to do that, everything else will remember you. You are the cause. You are the dreamer. You are the divine. Now go live from the end and let the world catch up.